It's Thursday morning, kinda. Well, the morning's over now. It's 12:30, and I thought I would wake up, take a shower, shave, get ready for the day, go get some body work done. Before that, I wanted to do a quick mohawk. Maybe just an old man's cut where you just, the opposite of a mohawk where I cut everything on top off and leave the sides. It's summertime, right? You can do whatever you want. I think mohawks are cool. They say I do what I want. I don't conform to what everybody else does. I don't have the same haircut as everybody else does. But sometimes it gives a mixed impression that I'm a punk. I'm not a punk anymore. There. How's it look? Alright, I just wanted to say thanks to all my new subscribers. We're up to about 15 as of today, I think. So that's really cool. It's really cool to get your guys' input and suggestions on things and stuff. It really does help. Obviously it's going to help if some of you guys got years of experience and I'm just starting. So I am going to take... Can't remember your name right off the tip of my tongue, but I'll flash it across the screen here. I'm gonna take your idea on my door. I mean, I had this door sitting here and for practice, and I was just gonna jump right into the truck and just freaking go for it, you know. But I think it'd be a really smart idea to practice on it. So I did mark out just a square out of the top of the door there, and I'm gonna cut it out with the 3-inch, I think, and weld her back in. Some of my previous welding videos, the practice videos, I was really just trying to get a bead running on this stuff because I didn't think it was too big of a deal to practice the spot welding a lot. And I don't know if there's another name for it, but I know it's not spot welding. I'm not using a spot welder. I'm just welding spots. I got this tape for free, pretty much, in a shipment of stuff that I bought. I bought a pallet of goods a while back, so I have a ton of this 1/2-inch 3M tape. So I'm gonna try to use that as much as I can. Obviously, I don't need painter's tape for something like this. It's just lines to go off of. I didn't even have to really put lines on there. I just, I don't know, something to follow, I guess. I think there's a lot of you guys out there doubting whether or not I can even weld these panels in without warping the crap out of it, and and without and making it look decent. So I'm gonna do it. Actually, I haven't done it, so it's probably a good idea to try, right? All right. while to get started, but once it gets, once I get that blade, you know, down in there a good ways, then it catches and starts, you know, going a lot easier. Kind of like with cutting steel siding too. I've done a lot of metal work, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut this off and get the rest of this cut out just like that. I finally got it cut out. That took forever. I think the compressor turned on probably freaking 10 times doing this. I definitely don't have a big enough compressor. That's not going to cut it. So, but you know, it's getting me by. I mean, I'm going to have to use. I use the electric to, and that's a sander. So it has a plastic cup on the back. But I put a disc on it just to get by for right now. The disc is a little bit bigger than the sanding pad, so I just use this to kind of get it started really good. And then I use the cutoff tool to finish it off. But I only get about even once the sanding disc is down in the metal, about halfway or so, I only get about 4 inches before the compressor kicks on. And then actually starting off on bare metal, just getting it started, the compressor kicks on before I even start moving one side or the other. So it just runs constantly. I was thinking about hooking it up to that compressor too. That's a little 12-gallon over there. So I mean, that would give me, this is a 26, so 36 or 738 gallons. 38 would be a little better since I got it sitting here, and it wouldn't cost me nothing, and it wouldn't be that difficult, I don't think, to put a Y on the tank and just run a copper line or whatever over to that one and put them right side by side. At least that would give me some more. I mean, I also got another 6-gallon laying right there with a bad motor on it, you know. Could hook that on there too, you know. That would get me up at over 40. But you know, I don't know if that would help. I don't know if that would even be big enough or what. But back to the story at hand. I got the piece cut out here. All right. It's got some. Well, it's got some sound dampening stuff on it. Well, that's cool. And so now I'm gonna put it back on. It did start warping a little bit from the heat. It's actually, yeah, you can see what I'm talking about. I mean, it started warping just from the heat from heating it up with those things. So there's a little bit of a bow in it, but I'm guessing, or I'm hoping I can get that to pop out as I weld it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all ground down to metal and get the welder set up. Alright, I got that one done. This is pretty good. Go ahead and do this one. Alright, I'll finish this up for you. Okay, there it is. It's all down to bare metal. About a ½ inch to an inch all the way around. And then go ahead and set up the welder and get the first couple tacks done. Alright guys, the first time using the Harbor Freight deal on something other than a little practice piece that I did the other day. So see how that works. I got that piece ready. I'm all hooked up. I just made a ground there on the side of the door since I don't care about this door. Obviously I'll have to get a little more creative in the future, because I'm not going to want to have to obviously paint all that. So yeah, here's my piece, and I'm going to hold it up here and I'm going to tack it in. I'm kind of low on funds on this first deal. As far as the budget goes, I'm right there at, I'm just, you know, a little bit over budget, but not a big deal. I can't spend any more on a camera, so I gotta continue using the iPhone here, and it is definitely hard to lay it around so that you guys can see. Long sleeves would probably be a definite must-have, but I'm one of those guys who's gonna have to get burned before I do anything. Let's go this way. Why is this much smaller? It's because it goes this way, that's why. Shit, I still haven't set for the damn thick stuff. Gotta stay. Take two. I had her set for the thicker stuff I was doing the other night. I had the power all the way up to 4 and I had the speed down to 0, so I just upped the speed to where it's supposed to be, 1, and the heat setting I took down to 3. I could go down to 2, but we'll see. This panel's a little warped though. Yeah, there you go. Sensitivity high. Turn that shit down. Still blowing through. I'm still blowing through. I gotta take it out too. I haven't done body panel practice pieces yet. I did those little thin sheets, but it's not the same exact stuff, so I think I got her now. Big gap. It's a pretty big gap to bridge because I used that damn sander, and the cut disc on that sander was a little wider than what was on that 3-inch pneumatic one. Get some welding gloves. Yup. Ow. Well, that was ugly. Definitely a good idea to do some practicing here. The top row was about the only row that I could get a good practice on because the sides and the bottom are so freaking, the gap's so huge that I can't even, you know, it's just so big. I can jump it. I tried jumping it in a few spots, like right there. I jumped it, but look how big that hole is. It looks bigger on film, but you know. But yeah. And then the first one I blew through on, like I told you or whatever. I blew through right there, and then I changed the settings, and then I hit that one. I tried bridging that one over, and then I tried filling that in. You know, like, you know, filling it in with the you know, the filling it in with wire, and, you know, try to refill that hole. And I knew it was going to get too hot there, and obviously it got too hot. You see the color, and it also warped the panel right in this area. But and then I was just tried a bunch across the top. So if I can get this thing to zoom good. I had to play around with the settings a few times because it wasn't penetrating very good. So some of them are on top, and some of them, like that one there. Let's see where we at here. The ones that felt good were like that one there felt really good. The heat setting was good. I just kind of pushed it in a little harder than I was. Those two in there in the middle there were earlier ones. So I did that one. And then I did that one at the same heat setting, and those worked good. And then I skipped over and I did another one there. Skipped and did that one. So all those ones in between, even though they might have been on top of something, were the ones that hit good. These are all junk. All junk. That was one that I hit there towards the end. That worked pretty good. And then that's all junk. I blew through, then I did the same thing over here trying to get it to fill in or whatever. So that's obviously a talent that I am going to have to acquire over time and experience, obviously. So that's what I'm going for. This would probably be a hell of a lot easier with a better welder. Digging that one and that one. Where'd it go? Right there. Both those were good to me. I don't know, you guys will probably think differently, but those two felt good, and that was on the last setting that I had, and I upped it to 3, I believe. Yeah, it's on setting 3, and the wire speed I turned down a little bit because it still seemed like it was splattering and not heating up enough. It was sitting on top, you know, the bead was just bubbling up on top and not penetrating as much as those ones did. So yeah, it's there. It's on. It's cool to the touch now. So, and if this was my actual job, I'd go ahead and fill in it again in between all these, especially now that I got the right setting figured out and stuff, and fill all those in solid. I'm not going to do that right now. This is just practice. So I'm just going to grind it off and see what she looks like. All right, guys, there you go. She's pretty much ground off here. It's getting kind of hard to see. Turn that light on. Let's see if that helps, or I should turn that spotlight back on. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see very good. So yeah, I ground them down. In the area that I was talking about, you know, looks pretty good to me, and it's actually pretty smooth right there. There's some dark spots that make it look like there's a bump there, but it's just a dark spot that I didn't grind out very good. Here, let me shine some light on the subject here. Okay, there we go. So yeah, like in the spots that I was saying, it felt good and stuff, and it seemed to be working pretty good. That was the spots that it actually looks really nice. Right there, right there. Through this area is pretty good. It's solid through here. That's where that really good one was, right through there. One hit good there. You know, and then the other crap was just all junk. Gosh, I know I'm gonna get so much criticism on this video, but that's okay. That's what it's all about, right? That was that jumper that I attempted down there, and it's actually solid and it's actually holding good. So I actually am proud of that one, and that's my initial one right there, and that one's holding strong too, and it's solid all the way across. So that's cool. That one worked, and then, you know, I was playing with settings and stuff coming up through here, like I said, and had that one burn through, and then I was trying to fill in some of the holes that burned through because the heat was too high. But then once I figured out the settings, it started looking a lot better. Like these, the top is kind of what I'm going off of, because the top is pretty much the only thing that, you see this light here, I'm going to crank it up on high once to see if that is even better or not. Okay. It's getting dark out, so. I didn't finish grinding here. This is where, when I was screwing around trying to practice my filling the holes in with the MIG there, or it's not a MIG, obviously. I don't have the bottle set up on it yet, but I got all the attachments for it. So I could set that up, and I really should, because this is really splattery. But you know, right there, these all are smooth and solid through. Those right there, so. And then there's quite a few solid ones that came through there. And then that one's good, actually. Through there. I didn't grind it. I should grind that one a little more. But there's a hole there where I was still messing around with stuff. But then I got her pretty good coming through here. And then, of course, just like the other side, I was screwing around over here trying to get it to fill in, and it actually did right there. Here, I'll grind that down a little better for you. So yeah, after grinding it down, I see, it wasn't that great, but it did go through right on that side, and that side's kind of crappy on the left side. But I mean, it was such a big gap, and look how big that freaking gap is. So I was trying to jump it all around in circles. So I have no idea what I'm doing, obviously, when it comes to most of this, but especially when I'm trying to fill a hole like that, I threw what I've been grinding with, I don't even have a freaking grinder yet. That's the one tool I didn't order from Harbor Freight, because I thought I could get by with this. But then I found out that I can't even put it's a sanding pad. It's got the black plastic thing on the back. I can put a cut disc on it. This is a cut disc, actually, for a grinder, and I was just using it to grind with, and so it doesn't work the greatest. But it's doing the job. I need a 4-inch grinder, or 4.5-inch grinder. I'll show you my tool drawer. I cleaned up finally and got some organization going here. Get the body shop tool drawer of that guy. I got one of those. I didn't get any tips for it though. I seen a set of tips up at Walmart for like $15 or something. You pop in there a little grinder. So I mean, that's more or less for smaller areas though. So I definitely need to get a grinder. So there's my patch panel attempt for my first try. If you guys it'd be nice if you don't totally kill my spirit by telling me what a douchebag I am and how I should start over or try to find a different day job. But if I did a little more welding, as far as filling in a few of the gaps, and if I never tried, if I had the settings now that I know what they are, if I had the settings the way they should be to begin with, and then I hit that whole top and didn't burn out the corners. The corners, trying to practice, you know, filling in my blow through areas. Then I would be completely satisfied with the top line anyway. And then, like I said, my patch panels are going to be the right size. They're not going to be, you know, freaking huge ass gaps trying to fill it in with a welder, you know. Right? I mean, isn't that what you guys, I mean, isn't that how it usually goes? Stay tuned. I'm going to make a video on the supplies that I picked up from Napa and O'Reilly's. So yeah, I'm not going to plug just one of them. Got the Mohawk, rocking the Mohawk now. Got some wax in there. I got her a little thinned out. She was a little tall before, so I don't like it too big. Alright, so yeah, stay tuned for that. And hey, thanks to all my new subscribers. That's really cool. I had quite a few comments on several of the different videos, and I'm definitely using some of your suggestions and whatnot. So thanks a lot.